have burned what is known to be the statue of a demon named Baal. Now, this is the same demon that the Jews used to worship before Moses brought in the Ten Commandments. And after the release of Epstein files, it looks like a massive protest has outbroken in Iran as of now, where they are literally just burning down the statue of this demon as a declaration against Satanism. So they're basically declaring war against Satan and anything that's not godly. Because as far as what we have seen from the Epstein files, we've already seen that there are children's that are being sacrificed to this demon, and people are outraged after what happened with the Epstein files. But now it definitely looks like Iran is taking the right measures, and they're showing their anger towards this demon that all of these Hollywood and the elites around the world have been worshipping for hundreds and thousands of years. And what really surprised the entire world now is that right after the burning of Baal's statue, this is something that nobody expected, by the way, where Prime Minister Netanyahu of Israel has now officially made the statement where he said that Iran burned the statue of Baal as a declaration of war. We are watching what is happening. Now, this is honestly a very, very clear sign as to who these people worship and why they are being angered. Because as far as what Iran has done, they basically just burned the statue of a demon. And the biggest question arises as to why the Jews are really mad at this stuff. And the fact that Netanyahu says that this is a declaration of war says a lot of things about who these people worship and what they are basically after and what their agendas are. Now, obviously, we know that all the world leaders and mostly all the elites and Hollywood actors and everybody in the industry that are on the top class elite levels of life, they're living the elite lifestyle, have something to do with following Satan. Apparently, it's not just Netanyahu. There's also a massive outrage going on between the elites after watching the statue of this demon Baal burn to ashes. This is what one of the most famous American philosopher named Alexander Rosenberg had to say on his official X post, where he replied to this whole thing stating that this is by far the most anti-Semitic thing that the Iranian regime has ever done. And the fact that burning a demonic figure is now considered anti-Semitic is just mind-blowing. It's very clear that these elites all around the world are very openly declaring war against Jesus, and they are basically declaring war against God and people of God. And the worst thing about this whole stuff is that we Christians, or even people of God, really don't have anything to say or anything to do about this stuff. No one's even doing anything even after the Epstein files are out. And all the guys that are involved in these files are actually running free, and they're still ruling and living their elite class lives as though nothing ever happened. And what's interesting here is that right after the response of Prime Minister Netanyahu, where he said that burning Baal's statue is basically known as a declaration of war, and right after he said the statement, it seems like the Iranians were not done with it. So they went on and created another statue of the demon Baal, and they decided to burn it once again. And this right here is the footage where they're throwing stones at these demons, and they're basically just burning the whole thing down. Look at that stuff. So this is basically a very clear sign that the world is waking up and they're no longer going to be taking this stuff. What's actually interesting here, a Jewish rabbi who's apparently known to be the revered rabbi for all the Jews. Now, this rabbi ended up informing the Israelites that he had some sort of a vision from God himself, and God basically showed him who the true Messiah is. And the people of Israel were extremely excited to know who that is, because they obviously trusted him, and he was obviously known to have like a very high rank when it comes to being a rabbi. Now, there's something very weird that happened in this whole situation, where this rabbi, he basically said that he's not going to be giving out the name of the true Messiah until he is dead, and only after his death were we supposed to know the true name of the Messiah of the Jews. And apparently he wrote down a message on a paper, and he said that this letter was only supposed to be opened after he passes away from this world. And apparently in 2003, Rabbi Itzhak Kaduri, the most highly respected Sephardic Kabbalist, had a vision where he claims that he met the Messiah and he told him his name. Now, Kaduri then wrote on a piece of paper of what the Messiah told him and said to open the letter 1 year after his death. Now, in 2006, the rabbi had passed away, and the letter was then opened in 2007. Now, this right here is the letter that was written by the rabbi, and apparently it's written in the Hebrew language. And if you go ahead and translate this, the message is actually very concerning to the Jews, because the letter written in the Hebrew reads, "Concerning the Messiah, the righteous one will not die. He will be killed and resurrected, and he will come again. This is based on the writings of the prophets and the sages." In the handwritten note, when you take the first letter of each word, they form an acrostic. So these are like the first words of each sentence, and they are basically forming a word on itself. And this word basically spells out as Yeshua, which is the Hebrew name of Jesus Christ himself. Now, this was known to be one of the most craziest things that ever happened in Israel, which obviously the Jews were not ready to accept. And after his death, it seems like the whole letter was not really revealed out to the world, and it was just suppressed, and nobody needed to know anything about this stuff. So this was indeed a fact that actually happened, and unfortunately, they suppressed this whole information as soon as they found out that the letter basically describes their Messiah as Yeshua. And obviously, we all know the reason as to what's really going on in the world. And as you can see, this banner right here, Iran basically puts up a giant banner of Baphomet controlling all of these world leaders: Trump, Netanyahu, Salman, and Epstein, and all these people. All of these people are basically being controlled by one entity. And a lot of people obviously said that Jeffrey was gone, he's no more, he already died in prison. But apparently, just a few weeks ago, there was this photo which was taken from Tel Aviv, where apparently it seems like there's a person that looks exactly like Jeffrey, and he's walking around in Israel free while the clan is facing 2 felonies. Now, if this is not Jeffrey who's alive and well, then who the hell this is? Take a look at this picture right here and let me know, what do you guys think? Do you think that this is Jeffrey, or this could be someone else? Genuinely, from what I can see, this looks very much like him. And obviously, I don't believe that, that a person with such influence, who's been controlling the entire world and all of its leaders and all the elites, is basically just going to disappear out of nowhere. I genuinely cannot believe this stuff, and I think he has a lot more influence to very easily get out of the situation and put someone else in his place and basically let the world know that he's already dead. Now, genuinely, that's what I personally believe, and I genuinely want to know what your opinions are, so let me know down below in the comments. And what do you guys think about burning the statue of Baal, the Baphomet, who's also known as the demon, who's known to be the enemy of Jesus Christ himself? I really want to hear from you guys. What do you have to say about everything that's been going on in the world? Because there are crazy things happening every single day. There's always something insane going on in the world. So I genuinely want to know your opinions on this whole situation. Let me know down below in the comments. And also make sure to go ahead and share this video with your friends and family and people that you really want to make aware of what's going on in the world, because these kind of videos is not going to be getting pushed on its own from YouTube, because YouTube is obviously going to try their best in order to suppress this video from reaching out to more people, because truth is always bitter, and they really don't want these kind of videos to be reaching out to more people. So probably they're going to demonetize this video and limit its reach or do whatsoever. So I would genuinely ask every single one of you guys to please go ahead, drop a comment, drop a like on this video, because this way the YouTube algorithm gets tricked in such a way that it basically thinks that there's more engagement that's being given out to this video. So the algorithm AI basically starts promoting this video and showing it to many more people than usual. So if you guys could just take a few seconds of your valuable time, share this video, drop a like, leave any sort of comment. It doesn't really matter. You could also share a Bible verse if you would like. So if you would do that, the video is going to be reaching out to more people. More people are going to know about the truth that's going on in the world. So your support is going to make a lot of difference.